Hello, boys and girls. It's Grammy Co. How are you doing today? I haven't been able to make a video in a few weeks, so I hope you've been doing good. I have something very fun to share with you today. I am going to talk about, I'm not going to tell you. Can you guess what it is? Well, what is the scariest animal you've ever been close to? You've been close to a bear? I've never been close to a bear. That would scare me for sure. What other animal have you been close to? Ooh, a mean dog. Yes, those can be very scary. I hope nobody ever gets around a mean dog. Stay away, okay? The best you can. Has anybody been near a snake? Nobody likes snakes, huh? Well, some people do. But for the most part, lots of people don't like snakes and they don't want to be around them, especially mamas. Well, I'm not like a fan of snakes or anything, and I don't want a pet snake, but I did let my boys catch snakes when they were growing up, and I don't mind holding one as long as I know he's not poisonous, or I should say venomous. We're going to talk about that later. So, anyway, snakes can be very scary, and we don't want to be close to one that bites, but I tell you what, they have some good purposes too. So, I was around a snake one time, and I tell you what, it was scary for me, because I didn't know what to do. What? Oh my gosh. I hope you know this is not a real snake. I was just playing and tricking you. This is a rubber snake. So, we buy it to scare birds and put in our garden so the birds won't eat our strawberries. It doesn't always work. Birds are smart and they can tell what's real. Anyway, so I hope that was kind of fun for you, and I hope it didn't scare you. It's not real. Okay, so I do want to share with you about snakes because they're interesting, right? What kind of things do you know about snakes? I'm going to tell you some interesting things and just some facts for you to know. So, snakes, remember we've talked about how scientists group animals. When you have Legos and your mama tells you, put all the yellow Legos in a pile, put all the red ones in a pile, put all the blue ones in a pile, and put all the green ones in a pile. You put them in groups because they were the same color. So you grouped them by something they have in common, things they have alike, their color. Then maybe your mom would say, okay, all the yellow ones, put them in different groups. Put the ones that have the 4 pegs in a group, so the small squares. Put the rectangle yellow Legos in another group, and maybe the ones with just 2 in another group. Now you took all the yellow Legos and you put them in different groups by what they have in common. I told you that scientists put animals in groups. All the animals are called animals, okay? Well, it's one big group. We call it the Animalia Kingdom. All the animals in the kingdom, in the world. And then we take all the animals that lay eggs, have hair, let me see what else. Anyway, those main groups. That's called mammals. We take them all and put them in that group. Then we take some of the mammals and we break them down into different groups by what they have in common. Kind of like we did with the Legos I just showed you. Well, I don't want to get into all that. It's kind of a lot. But snakes are in their own kind of kingdom. And there's a reason why. And it's called reptiles. Did you know a snake was called a reptile? What makes a snake a reptile? Well, this one's not real, but they have scales, right? Scales, and their skin's kind of dry. So that's reptiles. We often compare it to amphibians. Frogs, salamanders are amphibians, and their skin is smooth and slimy, kind of wet. So let's just learn a few things about this reptile, the snake. Okay, so what kind of things do snakes eat? Little animals, not just little ones. Did you know a snake this size could eat a rabbit? I mean, he's got a little head, a little cute mouth, but he could eat a rabbit because God made their mouth, like we have a jaw right here, and you can only open it so much. Can't open it any wider. I couldn't fit a cow in my mouth, could I? Unless he's a hamburger, but anyway. But the snake's jaws are flexible and they can open big enough to eat something bigger than their body. So some snakes will eat deers, bears. We'll talk about some of those later. But so if snakes eat animals, what are they called? Do you know what the three kinds of groups for what kind of food animals eat? Carnivore. Carnivores are animals that eat meat. Herbivore are animals that eat plants and grass. And omnivore is animals that eat both plants and animals. So that's a little separate group for you, but snakes are carnivores. They eat meat and their jaws flex open. They can eat some animal that's bigger than their head, and that seems kind of crazy. Snakes, first let me ask you this. Uh-oh, hold on, my dog's coming. Nope,